So on my last video, I got a comment from somebody named Disgusting Subhuman Garbage, and it reads, 17-year-old here. This exact feeling has been my entire life up to this point, and I've given up completely on everything in general. All I think about is how much I hate myself and how pathetic I am. It's just how it is now. And when you go to their channel, their profile name is Garbage Shouldn't Have Names. Their profile picture is just the definition of subhuman, and their bio is just calling themselves a bunch of names and saying it's all rolled into one pathetic waste of a human being. Now, I am going to reply to this comment, but not because I think for even half a second that this isn't satire. I don't think this person is serious at all, but because there are people out there that do unironically share this same sentiment. They do feel like this. So I'm going to respond. If you convince yourself that you're capable of nothing and that you're just bound to fail at whatever you try your hand at, then you're going to subconsciously sabotage yourself in order to fulfill that prophecy that you've set for yourself. Because at the end of the day, humans love to be right. We love to be correct about things. So if your truth is that you are a failure and that you are insufficient and that you're pathetic and that you're a mistake, etc., etc., you will want to realize that truth. You want it to be true. A part of you wants it to be true, even though that truth is detrimental to you. You want it to be true because it makes you correct. It makes you right. This is what we call a self-fulfilling prophecy. And this is why the mindset that we carry through life with is incredibly important, because you can speak things into existence to a certain extent, of course. You know, things do need to be followed by hard work, but hard work is all the byproduct of your mentality. And if you carry through life with a piss poor mentality, oh, I'm pathetic, oh, woe is me mentality, then you won't ever put forward hard work. So that's why it's really important to never count yourself out and always have some faith in yourself. A lot of people have no faith in themselves. They just think they're bound to fail. And with that mentality, you are likely bound to fail. So convince yourself otherwise, and you will likely see more positive results. The thing that annoys me about this type of comment is that they're basking in it. They seem to enjoy being pathetic. They're like getting off on this. You know, they're making it their profile picture, their name, their bio, they're commenting it on my video. They're speaking it into existence all the time, and they're living the label. They're owning that label. Why would you want to proudly own such a label? Is it to get pity from people? Does that work often? I'm sure it does. I'm sure that's why this comment was made. For pity. I'm going to look at you for what you are. And being pathetic is not fundamental to anybody. Okay? And you're 17. You're saying you're pathetic and that you're this and that. You haven't even lived life yet. You haven't even had really the opportunity to become a failure at anything, to be pathetic. I mean, unless you're, roaming the streets and harassing and hurting like random people, then I kind of find it incredibly difficult to see how you're pathetic. How are you pathetic? What's pathetic about you exactly that can't be changed this early on in your life? What's pathetic? It feels like this person thinks that there's like nothing ahead in life and that, nothing's going to change. And they say, oh, it's just how it is. When I was 17, my life was absolute hell. It sucked. I hated everything about my goddamn life. I just turned 23. From 17 to 23, everything about my life has improved drastically. I'm not even remotely living the same life. Everything has improved so much in that short amount of time. So the same can happen to you, okay? Things change. People grow. And I'm sure you will experience growth as well. But you may stunt your growth if you plant yourself. You plant your feet in this mindset that, oh, I can't change. It's just how it is. I'm pathetic. I'll amount to nothing. I'm a failure. What are you talking about? What the hell are you on about? You haven't even lived a fraction of life yet. You don't know anything about anything. You're so young that you don't even know how young you are. That's how young you are. It's crazy to me that you're counting yourself out this early on. And why are you doing this? You know, why would you count yourself out this early into your own life? For what reason would you do this? Who could you possibly be comparing yourself to? To think that what you've accomplished in your life so far at 17 is insufficient and makes you a failure. Who has really accomplished jack shit at 17? Please point them out to me. Who is this person that you're comparing yourself to? This anomaly. Because let me tell you, most people at 17 have not accomplished shit. They can hardly pass chemistry. So what makes you a failure? Like, I'm really stuck here. And let's say the quality of their life sucks, and that's why they have this terrible mentality. It's just the quality of their life. Things I simply can't understand because it's maybe more personal. You know, I don't have any insight into this person's personal life. I don't know what they're going through. Let's say that's the case. Well, be grateful that the bitter suffering that you feel now will make life's delicacies taste so much sweeter when you finally get to experience them. Don't crawl into a ball and cry and sing songs about how pathetic you are and how much your life sucks. Just be grateful for this human experience. All right? Just be grateful for it. Because when you finally do get to experience what you've been seeking all this time out of life, it'll be so much better. It'll feel so much better to have what you never could, whether it be a material thing or not. Whoever's listening that may feel this way, I do believe your life will change. But I can't guarantee you that it'll change for the better. That's up for you to decide. It's what do you do? What do you do to change your life? Are you living the same day on repeat? Are you doing the same thing every single day and expecting some sort of miraculous gift from the universe? Some sort of sudden change to just plop into your lap? Is that what you're waiting for? Is that what you're doing? Because I could almost guarantee you that nothing's going to change if that's the case. Are you stuck in a loop and you're just doing the same thing? You're expecting change because nothing's going to change that way. You can't do the same thing over and over and over again and expect a different result out of it. You're going to be stuck because you're not changing anything. You're just doing the same thing and expecting something different out of life. A lot of people expect some sort of handout from the universe, from God, from whatever they believe in. They're just expecting something to change because they deserve it. Oh, I've suffered so much. Oh, I've earned change. I deserve this. How have you earned a better position? How have you earned that? Well, by suffering. Like, suffering doesn't make you a virtuous person. It doesn't make you worthy or deserving of anything more than what you already have. Just simply suffering. It doesn't mean you earn anything out of your suffering. If you want your situation to change, you have to work for it. You have to make it happen yourself. So that's why I can't guarantee that anybody's situation out there will change for the better, because it all depends on what you're doing every single day to actually change your situation. What are you doing every day to help improve your own life? I kind of strayed off topic, but I believe that, don't always see your hard times as a bad thing. I personally believe that our hard times oftentimes just prepare us for something better, or they test us. I believe our hardships, our tough times, they're like tests to see, can we handle what we actually want? Can we be trusted with it? How will we act? Will we actually be grateful when we get it? You've got to learn to see the value in things before they just get handed to you. A man living on the sun may not appreciate a fire the same way a man living in the Arctic would. And it's oftentimes the absence of the things we really wish we had that make us so grateful for it when we finally obtain it. Because that's what helps us see the value in it. You know, that's what helps us see it in the first place. And I can relate this to the abolish the police thing. A lot of people who live in really good areas, you know, somewhere in suburbia, somewhere in some, you know, pretty nice neighborhood somewhere, wherever, they may not actually see the value in police because they've never had to actually rely on police for anything. They don't see the value in it. Just like a man living somewhere in the Arctic may not see the value of a freezer, or a man living on the sun may not see the value of a fire. They don't need it. They don't need it. Why would they see the value in it? To them, it doesn't matter if it's abolished or not. It doesn't matter. So someone living in some gated community somewhere with a practically non-existent crime rate, naturally, they're not going to see the value of police. And that's why you see so many, you know, pompous, privileged, rich little shitty-ass college kids preaching for the abolishment of police. They don't see the value in police because they've never needed to rely on them. They've never needed it. It's never been a factor to them. The real life scenarios of, if someone breaks into my house, who am I going to call? If someone robs me right here, who am I going to call, etc. This doesn't even occur to them because it's so unfathomable. It's not even like connected. It's not part of their reality. They've never even been close to experiencing this. So naturally, they won't see the value in it. But somebody like me, who grew up around crime and grew up in incredibly awful conditions and has actually seen like the good police can do, yeah, I see the value in police. Do I like police? No. But do I see the value in police? Of course. What the hell? Of course. I think it's absolutely absurd to not see value in this, but I do understand the perspective of people that don't. I do understand it. Whether I agree with it or not, I get it. I get it. I don't have to agree, you know? But you should always attempt to understand. That's a big thing. Whether you agree or not, always try to at least understand the perspective. Gotta try to understand people, you know? Try to understand their stance on something, why they think what they think. You don't have to agree with them, but try to come to some sort of understanding. Don't just count their ideas out and just label them as crazy or stupid or whatever labels get thrown around on Twitter these days, whatever. Don't just do that. You'll never understand anybody that way. You have to try to actually understand people. That is what gives you the ability to connect with the most people, is understanding them. You don't have to agree with them. But if you can understand them, you can connect with them. You're far more likely to be able to connect with them if you understand them than if you made no attempt to whatsoever. So, yeah. But anyways, this is a little off topic. The thing is, a lot of people out there, because they've been beaten by life, defeated by life, or they feel that life has beaten or defeated them, they think that makes them weak or a failure or whatever. But that is not at all the case. It is okay to taste defeat. It is okay to come up short. It is okay to lose. That is part of life. The human experience, that's just part of it. That's just life. What's not okay is to give up, lose hope, count yourself out, and accept defeat. It is okay to be defeated, but it is absolutely never okay to accept defeat. Once you've accepted defeat, now you're just living out the self-fulfilling prophecy once again. That's what that is. So, you know, and I understand that a lot of what I say is easier said than done. I can say, oh, you know, think this way, do this, be like this. And some people are just going through some shit where my advice isn't even practical to them. They've got so many things going on, but it's just something to keep in mind. You don't have to change your life right now, today. Doesn't all need, you know, it's a process. Like I've said before, life is a process. So, you know, just be mindful and try to incorporate some of these ideas into your life. Some of these thoughts, etc., etc. Just try to incorporate them, you know, one by one. It doesn't all have to happen willy-nilly, instantly. You know, your life isn't going to change overnight. It is a process, but you can't lose faith in yourself. And I'll always like preach this incredibly hard. You cannot lose faith in yourself. Think about all the people that have been pummeled by life hard, and they did not lose faith in themselves, and they've gone on to become something great. Mike Tyson, for example, that's a good one. Tyson Fury, for example, that's another good one. Francis Ngannou, for example. I'm naming a lot of fighters because I'm really into, you know, fighting and MMA and stuff. It's like a big part of my life. And I'm sure there's many other examples, you know, just throughout history and so many other things. There's so many examples you can pull out of a hat. But these are some of the examples I would encourage y'all to research. Like look at the life of Mike Tyson or Tyson Fury or even a Conor McGregor. Like, they've come from some really shitty situations and they've gone on to become some of the greatest, you know? So I think it's really foolish and naive to count yourself out at any age as well. And what you have to understand is absolutely nothing is fundamental to anybody. Being pathetic, being a failure, whatever the case may be, it's not fundamental to you. Nothing is fundamental to you. Nothing is, what even is fundamental? I mean, space-time isn't even fundamental to our reality. So how could you possibly think that being a failure, being pathetic, is fundamental to you? And all of these things in general are just perceptions. They're just your own interpretation. That's all it is. I mean, some people may see something as pathetic and others may not. Maybe you're just really hard on yourself. You know, some people in school think getting a B or a C on a test is pathetic. Some people think, hey, I passed. This is great. This is fantastic. It's just perception. It's perception. So actually sit back and think to yourself, like, is this pathetic? Or am I just being really hard on myself? Am I expecting too much from myself? Or are my expectations completely impractical? Are they even realistic? Are they rooted in reality? You know, think about this. So yeah, that's my reply to that comment. And whoever is actually out there, you know, feeling a similar way, yep, this is a quick little chat. Like I said many times, I could always put these things a little more eloquently and, you know, be a little more well-spoken and stuff, but I do try to make my language and stuff a little more digestible, not use too many big words and, you know, make things too deep, etc., etc. You know, I want people of all ages that come across this video to be able to understand it, and all ages and backgrounds, different education levels, etc. You know, so yeah, I want to make it as digestible as possible, so I don't get too much into like certain theories or, you know, things of that nature, because it'll kind of filter some people out who do find value in these words. They won't be able to. It'll be a little more daunting, a little harder to digest, a little more to take on. I want it to just, this can be something that someone listens to and they can pick up some little thoughts from it, and that's it. Just pick up some thoughts and think about some things. Maybe have a discussion in their own mind or in the comment section and just think. So yep, hope you guys enjoyed this. I'm going to make more videos like this. They'll probably be shorter, so it's less of a like time commitment to listen to and stuff. And this way I can also upload these types of videos more frequently. But yeah, hope you guys enjoy the rest of y'all's day. Stay healthy. Peace.